Hello, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is that you might be watching this. This is Jason Love from Co-Optimus, and I'm joined today by Paul from Hopoo Games.
What's up, guys?
Paul is joining us here to show off their... Is this your first title?
Yep, this is the first game that we've made together.
Risk of Rain, which is a co-op sci-fi roguelike. There's a lot of other things I could probably toss in there, but you're probably going to be better at describing this than I am. So, how do you kind of describe Risk of Rain?
Yeah, I mean that's true. Risk of Rain is kind of a mashup of a bunch of different genres that we kind of liked and wanted to build into. So we have, the classic roguelike elements, permadeath, sub permutations on the levels, so that there's always random parts to them, and then all the bosses, monsters, and chests are all randomized as well. And then you have 2D side scrolling. So we just kind of put those two together and made Risk of Rain. So
excellent, excellent. And originally it was only going to have local co-op. I know you've been working with a couple other guys, Matt from Yeti Trunk, to add online co-op, and so that's what we're actually going to show off today, is a little online co-op play, a little bit of the game itself. Excellent. All right, well, let's get started here. See, hopefully we can make it through past the first level at least.
yeah.
So from the start here, the first level that you play, is this always set, or is this different each time?
So the level that you spawn on is different. There's currently 2 maps that you can spawn on, and both maps have what we call sub permutations. So they have variances in the way that they're laid out. So they're not going to be completely random, but they do change from playthrough.
And tell us a little bit too about just kind of the setup going through and making this of how do you decide on the art style? How do you decide on what enemies to put on and characters to build? I mean, a lot of sort of how do you kind of go through building this?
Yeah, sure. When we first, decided to make the game, we were kind of just, bored one day and thought of why not try to make a game. So we took, some big giant pieces of paper, wrote down everything we liked about games, wrote down things we didn't like about games, and then kind of a pros and cons list to, the different genres, art styles, views. So from that process, we realized, we wanted to focus on gameplay. So, we could spend months and months learning 3D animation and, modeling, but we just wanted to have a good, solid, fun to play game. So we went with 2D, side scrolling, kind of what we grew up playing. And, we went from there. I mean, everything, all the characters, all the monsters have just kind of been thought up somewhat in the beginning, but then, things change as you're actually playing and building the game. So it's been a really cool process.
And as we go through, and I forgot to mention too that Paul is one half of Hopoo Games, the other being Duncan.
Yes.
How'd you guys get even started programming games? I mean, is this something that you guys have experience and background in? Is this something that you just decide that you pick up based off of other experience that you have programming, or what?
So I knew that Duncan, we've been friends for a really long time, and I knew that Duncan had, messed around with Game Maker a little bit, and that's what we used to code this game. So I was like, hey, you've got, a little bit of skill, let's kind of see what we can do. So from there, Duncan's been doing the coding, and it's been going really well. I mean, for our first game, I think that we didn't really expect it to kind of, go online and have people actually enjoy playing it and give us feedback. So it's been really, really surreal. So.
So you talked about sat down, wrote down everything that you liked, everything that you kind of wanted to do, and what you wanted to make from there. What was the kind of first iteration of all that then? I mean, what did this look like sort of when you first started working with it?
Yeah, the very first thing that we did was, made one platform, and then we made the commando. And the very first version 0.1 or whatever was just a little commando guy, and you could just run back and forth. And I think we had a sprint mechanic in the game at that time where you could hold shift and you would sprint, but I don't know. Once we saw that took a couple days just to make, and I don't know. We kind of realized, oh, this could be pretty sweet. So we just took it from there, and you know, we've been adding to it ever since.
Have there been a lot that have kind of ended up sort of not necessarily in the trash bin, but kind of maybe, yeah, this isn't. Maybe we need to revisit that idea and come back to it later.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have like at least 3 kind of half-done classes, or you know, classes that we liked some aspect of, but didn't really feel like there would be like a real, you know, motivation to play that character. So we definitely have some half-finished characters.
And when you say motivation, I mean, is this kind of like if you were to sit down and play this game, would this be something that you personally enjoy playing? Is this?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So, I mean, we've thought up the idea and like, oh, that sounds sweet. Like, let's make it. Let's, you know, start coding it, and then we actually do that, do the artwork, then play it. We're like, wow, this is, you know, nothing like we thought it'd be. It's kind of boring or repetitive. So there's a lot of changes that go through while we're actually playing and creating the character.
Now, how about the items? I mean, we've kind of been going through, opening up some chests here and grabbing a few things. How exactly, you know, do all these work? And especially in co-op play, is it, you know, just one user gets them?
So for the items, we wanted them to really like change the way that you played the game. So each item, you know, it's not like plus damage or plus, you know, just boring stats like that. So we have each item is really unique, and we have currently we have, I think in this build, like 85 items, and there will be over 100 in the final build. So them all being unique kind of makes it, you know, really interesting to play over and over. So in co-op mode, you both get items and you both can receive items. So right now I have this use item that I can use about every minute that the jellyfish boss dropped that we killed last game. So I kind of shoot out the attacks that he did. So, I mean, all the items are, you know, something crazy like that.
But that's just the use item for you. Some of the other items, like dropping a banner when, like I have one that's just a passive, I guess, the best way to say it is whenever we get a level up, I drop a banner.
In co-op, there are some items that benefit both of us. So yeah, like a good example would be the banner. When you level up, you drop a banner, and then if I stay inside that banner, I get the same effects that you do.
Yeah, gotcha.
So there are definitely items that, you know, will help the whole group or more than one person. So, and then there's also just some that, you know, will affect you.
From there then, okay, so you got the characters, you're building items, you're making things that aren't quite, I mean, there's a little bit of loot gathering, but not necessarily the traditional, you know, watch the numbers go up.
Yeah.
What was the kind of next step then for you? I mean, where kind of to take it from there?
In deciding, like, you know, we had wanted the characters, we wanted the items, we felt that the bosses needed to be kind of epic in a way. I mean, all bosses in games should feel, you know, like a feat when you beat them. So we have, on every level, you can face a variety, like a pool of different bosses. So each time you play a level, the boss will be different, and it's just randomly chosen by the internal AI. So each time you play, you'll have a different boss. And then all these monsters and bosses drop monster logs. So these logs will kind of tell you information about, you know, about the boss, as if the person playing is, you know, collecting data on these monsters, and it's almost like a Pokédex in a way, but just so the player can, you know, kind of follow the lore of these characters and these bosses from a first-hand perspective. So
this actually worked out well. I've had this happen to me once before, where he spawned over there, and I could kind of sit back from afar and enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
Which works out well for me, so I can keep on talking here. What's been so right now at the game? What sort of state is it at? I should say. What's the current sort of release plans and expectations for timelines?
So this build is currently the beta version. So we've been releasing betas since, I think, June or a little bit before June, and with the beta, we wanted people, to help us test it and see kind of shape the way
Uh-oh.
that they wanted. Did you die?
I might have died.
I'm pretty close to dying too, but that's all right. But yeah, this is the beta, so I think as of right now, we are getting pretty close to the release, so that should be happening pretty soon. If I can stay alive here. It's actually a lot tougher on multiplayer than the normal game, just because the number of people scales with the number of monsters. So,
that's the sight that you'll see quite often.
yeah, you gotta be used to that. So I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but under the unlocked, you can see that we unlocked a new item, so that will now drop in the game.
Okay, so part of the achievements, because we cleared the first stage in under 5 minutes, so part of the achievements is that you also are unlocking more items for you in the game, or down the line, I'm sure, more characters, something like that.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love rogues too. I've played, FTL, and going back even further than that. There's, Mystery Dungeon and others that I've played through. This has such an excellent balance between the platforming elements and that rogue that I just can't help but keep going with it until I'm like, all right, I think I've pushed as far as I can for right now.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's cool. We didn't think think this out like, oh, they're gonna want to play over and over, and that'll be this cool thing. But it all kind of fit together as we, added more elements, and it just fit really well. So we're glad that people, kind of get lost in it. So it's a cool thing.
So current release plans sometime this year, or?
Yes, for sure. We are planning this fall.
Okay.
So we originally thought August, back when we had our Kickstarter, and that was just, kind of we hope we can release by August, but since adding, online multiplayer, which is a big change to kind of add midway through the development, so that just pushed us back a tiny bit, but yes, definitely this fall.
And you also have a Steam Greenlight campaign going, right, to get yourself on Steam?
Yeah, we just actually got accepted.
Oh, congratulations.
Last week, or maybe even 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, so we will be on Steam, which has been our goal all along. So it's pretty cool to actually reach it. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, as a way to kind of reach a broader audience and get people connected with everything. I certainly know I've got friends on Steam that when I start seeing, they started playing this game, I'm like, oh, let me just hop on and join them then. That's great. Well, so closing words. What do you want to say?
I don't know. I think everyone should go check out Risk of Rain. If you liked what you see, we have a ton more content coming. I mean, this is just the beta. We have, lots more levels, characters, items, and I want to thank you for doing this. It's been fun, kind of, playing, showing off a little bit.
Excellent. Thanks so much for your time, Paul. Thank Duncan as well. I know he wasn't able to join us, but certainly appreciate the work that you guys have done. And for everyone listening and watching, we'll have some links down there in the description so you can check out the game, check out the website for Risk of Rain and Hopoo, and check out it Greenlight on Steam, now successfully greenlit, and look forward to it sometime this fall. For Co-Optimus, this is Jason Love. Thanks.